Just set something up real quick.
No problem. I had to come into my room because there's people in the kitchen and living room, so that's
Oh
why I'm
yeah.
sitting in. Yeah.
That's all right. I interviewed Cookie last week,
Yeah.
and he was on like a walk with his wife and his new baby Quinn and little dog now. So it's
So it doesn't matter.
yeah, it's just kind of however you can get it done. It's not, I'm not some professional at this yet. I'm just kind of getting it rocking.
Yeah, hey, you'll get there. You'll get there. Keep working at it for sure.
Yeah, just keep rocking along, and hopefully I'll figure out all the little quirks to it. But
Like the
yeah,
new
we'll
Joe Rogan.
just yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know if that's in the cards, but that would be cool.
Hey, the deal he just signed, I didn't want to take it.
The Spotify deal,
Think, yeah, was it the Spotify deal? Like some
yeah,
serious money getting there. Crazy.
yeah, he got some insane money for that. I mean, he's basically the godfather of podcasting at this point. It's
That's it.
insane. Yeah, he did it for a couple of years before Spotify too, though. So
Yeah, I know. When I looked it up, there was some like old podcasts I found on him.
hmm yeah, he had a co-host too that really helped him kind of get through a lot of it. But cool. We'll just kick it off here. So, hi, this is Alex from the Millennial Entrepreneur. I'm here with my good friend Caleb. We played rugby at Arkansas State together, and now he's down in Florida doing luxury real estate. So, Caleb, it's great to have you.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be on your podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here, Caleb. So, if you could just walk me through your background going from, we played rugby at Arkansas State together, and then you went off. It looked like you got your real estate license in 2017. And then now you're in the luxury real estate side.
Yeah, so basically, kind of all started. Finished college from Ireland. Finished college in Ireland. Got the scholarship to go over to A State, where I met yourself. We played rugby. Uh, Only did like 6 months there. It was kind of like a second degree I was doing. I finished my first degree, got my bachelor's in marketing, PR, and event management. And from then, I kind of was like wanted to be in the sales side of things. So after I left Arkansas, came down here to South Florida because I had a cousin that lived here. And basically, I tried to, at the start, I was like, let me try your hand in the marketing, like event management, stuff like that. But really, kind of you gotta have to go to Miami for that. Um, and I was like, Miami is just very expensive and crazy. And I'm like, try. So I got an internship as a venture capitalist in a venture capitalist firm doing marketing for them. And sitting behind the desk all day, not for me. Hated it.
Yeah, you're
But
too
like,
active for that, Caleb. I
yeah,
think.
no, I don't. I have a bit of ADD there. I can't sit
Yeah.
still for too long, and these guys just sitting there just typing away all day, and I'm just like, oh, I can't do this. Great experience. So basically, how I ended up getting into the real estate was just watching Million Dollar Listing, and I loved it.
Really?
Like Million Dollar Listing in New York, watching Frederick and Ryan and them selling all these mad houses and apartments and condos, and I was like, I want to do something like that. So literally, I was like, I just Googled how to get my Florida real estate license. Seeing it was a 63-hour course, could do it Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday. I was like, why not? So booked the test, did that, passed it, and in the meantime, I was like bartending on the side.
Hmm.
Obviously, because to be, you gotta have to have money behind you, or else you need a part-time job because you gotta it's expensive enough like. So set a kind of goal, like a certain amount of money to save up before I go full time in it. Reached that goal. Went full time then in real estate and got into the luxury side. Basically, you just kind of got you need to get like a listing or so, or have a good client, and that kind of starts it off. And then now I'm just working to try get more luxury listings and do some deals. So it's not easy, for sure, and definitely not for new agents. Like you have, if you're going to get into it very quickly, you need to know someone. Like, you
Hmm.
know, have a parent or family friend or someone, but wasn't like that for me. Like I came over here not knowing anybody, just had a cousin who moved back to Ireland since. So like for me, like I just have to get out there, put my name out there and meet people and, you know, hopefully they love me enough to want to work with me and let me list their luxury homes. And we have one right now, it's under contract already out in Fort Lauderdale, working on some other ones. So it's starting to go. Very busy right
Nice.
now. It's definitely a hot market down here. It's crazy how hot it is.
Yeah, I've
So
seen just in, so I live just north of Denver, but I've seen a guy I work with is on the real estate, has like works on the real estate side as well, and everything is selling at this point. I mean, you put a home on the market and even above normal price, it'll sell within a month.
oh, listen, it's down here right now. Like soon as the 1st of January came, like right now, I've like 700 contracts, and
Wow.
like I had like four of them under contract in the first week. Like, and I showed property. I got a client showed her property, two properties yesterday, and one of them was kind of like a unique one. It was like a two-bed single family home, but had like a little studio to the side of it, you know,
Hmm.
like a little granny flat or whatever you call it. And I was like, it just came on the market. I was like, this is going to be gone by tomorrow, guarantee it. Looked it up. I was just on the way back from an open house there, under contract
Wow.
straight away. And then I called the agent. He's like, yeah, I have three backup offers that I'm showing them today. The inspection period is tomorrow. She's waived all
Wow.
the other contingencies, like gone like that. It needed a brand new roof. Didn't bother anybody. It's a unique little
Really?
property, no HOA with a pool, you know, huge lot. Like stuff is gone in a heartbeat. So
Wow.
you gotta, if you see something you like, you gotta be ready to make the move now. Like the time of, oh, I'm ready. I want to buy something. It's like, okay, we'll get pre-approved. Ah, yeah, I will. It's like, no, if you're trying to buy now, you need to get pre-approved now and be ready to go. Because if I go showing you something and you want it, you better make a move or it's gonna be gone. And so many people make them mistakes. Oh yeah, wait a few days, you know, we'll see. It's like,
Hmm.
no, you can't do that down here. Maybe somewhere else, another state or on the other coast or North Florida or whatever, but not down here. And probably yeah, Denver, Texas, all them places are so hot right now. Real estate, like you see something, you gotta be ready to make the move.
Yeah, I was earlier late last year, around November. I was trying to get into a duplex or even there was one with like a
Like a,
mother-in-law suite or like a grandma
yeah,
suite.
yeah,
And the main house, so I was gonna one portion was gonna be like the mother-in-law suite with a garage under it. And it was like a two-bed, one bath in there with a full kitchen. And then the other house was a two-story, like four-bedroom or something. And I wanted to convert it into that portion into a duplex and keep the mother-in-law suite.
yeah.
But it sold before I could even put an offer on it.
Yeah, that's what that house was. I had the mother-in-law suite. Stuff like that, hard to come by, and it does. Even regardless of kind of the shape it's in, people will jump on it.
Hmm.
You know, it's a money maker, especially if you do it. If you're in a good area, you do Airbnb, like you can rent that out for ridiculous money. You know, if you rent it out to good tenants, like you can charge $1,000 alone, if not more, just for the little mother-in-law suite.
Hmm.
You know, it's because it's their own little privacy, if they have their own entrance. You know, all that's a big thing to people. So yeah, it's so hot right now. Like thank God, like everybody thought, I guess, during COVID that everything was going to crash and prices were going to drop. But I said from the start, like, and anyone you ask, I always said, I was like, I don't think it's going to drop. Um, and especially where I am down in South Florida, it's because everybody's moving here. I was like,
Hmm.
our market down here is unique. It's not like anywhere else. You know, if everything hits the fan, people still are moving to Florida. You know, New York with the income tax, all the New Yorkers come down here. All the rich people are coming down. All these billionaires and millionaires are bringing their businesses down here. So I never thought there was going to be a crash, and I had so many clients that were like, "Oh, we'll wait till October before we buy because I think the prices will drop." Well, now they're overpaying for what they could have got 6
Mm-hmm.
months ago for a lot less.
Yeah.
The price have just kept going up and up and up. So, and I called it and I said it. I was like, listen, interest rates are at an all-time low. Um, like you gotta, like it's so low right now. Make the move now. Prices are still kind of high. I don't see them dropping, and they all thought it's gonna drop. And did it
Mm-hmm.
drop? Nope, went up.
Yeah. It's been on fire for months. I mean, it's been crazy to see, even with, I listened to, I forget what his name is, but he's a fairly big real estate guy out in Arizona that's popular on YouTube.
But the guy
But
that has the checks, his Lamborghini.
oh no, not that. I've seen that guy.
Yeah.
But it's kind of another guy similar. Not
Okay.
as flashy, maybe, but yeah. But they were saying, what was it? That they believed that the market was going to shoot up because of the low demand or low supply, and then maybe late this year or something, they thought that the foreclosures were going to start hitting, and there was going to be a lot of cheap property or just more supply coming out from that. But I just don't know when or if that'll hit. If people are able to keep these homes with pushing off their payments and these
Yeah,
government programs, I don't know if it will crash.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what a lot of people said to me too. But also, then everyone thought that at the start. But then again, the government came out with all these programs, and now everyone can go into forbearance, meaning you
Mm-hmm.
can hold off on your mortgage payments and just resume from where you were. Um, I had a person that kind of happened to, and basically it's like no foreclosures are popping up because these people can stay in the homes and live rent mortgage free or rent free, and you know it's the COVID kind of was a blessing for them in the sense, like they're saving on the mortgage. They'll have to pay it back later, but yeah, none of them were going. No one was getting kicked out of home because if they didn't have a job, the bank wasn't kicking them out because the COVID couldn't let them work, so they put a pause on everything. So people will just resume once they get their job back and start paying again. So it's not like that. And the other side is it is affecting those businesses like
Mm-hmm.
bars and restaurants. Like that's where, like if you're in the commercial side or the bar business, this is the time when you can kind of get good deals because like they're the lockdowns, like not in Florida really anymore because our governor has it all open, but like New York, like even in Ireland back home, like everybody's gone out of business because of the whole country locked down.
Yeah.
And then now in New York they're allowed outdoor seating in the winter. Like no one's gonna like, and their
It's the
rent is
same thing
crazy.
in Denver. It's just
Yeah,
miserable.
like you're gonna be out in the snow trying to eat a
Yeah.
slice of pizza. By the time it gets to your mouth, it's frozen.
Yeah.
You're like, imagine getting a steak at a $50 steak. By the time, like you want it medium rare, by the time you get to eat it, it'll be stone cold. It'll be
We had to bring a big blanket with us and like gloves, and it
you
was
serious.
it was an
That's
experience, but I can't say it was a fun experience.
no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's crippling the business. So yeah, these big money guys are going to swoop in and buy up all the old businesses. Um, like it's happened here in Delray Beach where I am. Like a few businesses kind of went out a bit, like they went out and stuff, and switched hands and all. So it's kind of sad to see, especially for the small business owner. Like it's very sad to see. But hey, I can't really complain. The real estate has gotten better in the pandemic, so I got lucky in that sense.
Yeah, it's capitalism. If unfortunately, sometimes if the market crashes and you don't have the cash to stay afloat or do the things necessary you need to do, then give someone else an opportunity.
Mm.
And I really think it's a it's a very special time, in my opinion, for the different generations. So most business owners, and I don't have data on this, but I would just say, for the most part, most business owners would be like baby boomers. They're like the older generations that are more developed and things like that. And then the younger generation, the millennials, are coming through now, and they're getting out of college, and they're maybe have a couple years in the workplace and are starting to look around and saying, wow, all of these businesses are crashing. And I now have an opportunity because I'm young, I've got energy, I've got time, I don't have a family yet, I'm willing to risk it. And now I can kind of fill this void with something else. And so I think it's kind of the basis behind the podcast, but it's like there's so many millennials that I think are going to have an opportunity now to eat up some of that market share where it's not as competitive anymore.
I agree there. With us millennials, like we like the baby boomers. I read a thing about it. They come from a time when they're taught to save like every penny you have, So your mother is always your dad would be like, save now for retirement,
Mm-hmm.
your
Yeah.
pension, blah blah blah. But now and now when they're struggling now, they don't have a lot of them don't have the creative ideas that the new millennials will have. Like, we're going through a pandemic right now and times are hard, and it's like you need to come up with something new, new idea to get through, and you know like change things around and figure out how to make money, and fill that gap in the market share. um I have a good example. It's kind of funny. um Strip clubs, all the strip clubs were shut down.
Oh,
Right, all the girls had no jobs. Then someone made the OnlyFans, so then they all converted over to OnlyFans, and now they're making more money without having to be in a strip club than when they were. Like creative ideas, it's crazy. Like
yeah.
you know, the guys and girls get to get what they want, and they still make money during a time like this, and they can do it from their bedroom. You have to be creative, come up with new ideas. You know, different concepts of things. Switch it up. The old school way is everything's changing. And it's
Mm-hmm.
the baby boomer got like ones like if they stay with the old times, they're going to struggle.
I think that's a great point that you said. The rules are changing. Like it is not a function of maybe reading a textbook 20 years ago that it'll apply today. Like I think the market is so different than it used to be that it's not like it's almost like the wild wild west. Like you've got a very young hustler entrepreneurship generation coming through and the millennials that are basically now handed the keys, kind of like the baby boomers. It's not positive, but the baby boomers, a lot of their businesses got wiped out during this.
Mm,
And it's
yeah,
like that's probably their savings that they've saved for years.
exactly, and exactly what you just said. The savings,
Yeah.
like us millennials, don't have the savings like the baby boomers, but because that all they were told to do is when they're younger, and that was the time. You save, save, save. Right now, we're the ones taking the risks now, and
Mm-hmm.
with college so expensive over here, rent so high, like it's hard to save, but you also don't want to be saving every little penny, because if you're trying to make money, you want to start investing that, and start up your own little businesses like real estate. You have to put money into it to get out and back from it. You can't just, you have to invest. Like if I when we get like when I get some eventually get some big multi-million-dollar listings, like I'm gonna have to put a couple of $1,000s into marketing and advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Like the seller's not going to pay for that. I have to pay for that. So if I want to target these other wealthy clients, I gotta get it out there, get into magazines that are like they read, and pump it on social media. Like when I do my Facebook ads and Instagram ads, like all costs, like, and you got to find creative ways. Like when I'm doing some deals, literally it's like, how are we going to get this done? And the other agent be like, be creative. Let's figure something out. There's loopholes and everything, as you know, today. Like look at Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big loophole on how to do it. There's Uber, the Lyft, I guess, and then they're trying to ban them, but there's loopholes and kind of everything. You got to be creative, especially in times like now with the pandemic. You know, you see all these new creative ideas that these millennials are coming out with. You know, it's, you have to be that way. You have to adapt and change. If you don't
Mhm.
adapt and change, you're going to be left behind. Like a lot of the baby boomers, they're old school, don't adapt and change, and down they go.
Yeah, there's been two big pillars, I think, that have really changed how people view business. And one of them was, it used to be ready, aim, fire. Like, if you were going to launch a business or you were going to launch a new product, you were going to get everything ready, you'd aim at whatever you're going to do, and then you'd launch. And now it's just ready, fire. It's like,
Mm.
let's put this together as best we can. We believe the market's going this way, but if we don't move now, if we don't fire right now, we'll miss it.
Something
So
else.
you're way better off just ready, fire. And even if it fails, you just keep ready, fire until you finally hit your trigger. And the other one was the business plan. So they used to do huge 5 year, lots of just in-depth financial calculations on where this was going to go. But now they've cut it back to like 2 years. They're like, if you plan anything longer than 2 years, you're going to be wrong. So
100%.
there's no real point in doing it.
Yeah, you can't, with everything going on in the world, like with disasters, pandemics, like there's, you can't predict you can't do a 5 year prediction because you never know. With everything, every year is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're lucky to get two similar years in a row now.
That's a
Like,
luxury now.
yeah, like 2020 was insane. 2019 was grand, and then it's like God only knows about 2021. 2021 could be the best year for everybody, you know, and then you don't know. So you gotta make your plan, and 2 years, I agree, is what with 2 years you're saying, I agree that, you know, but have your backups, you have
Mm-hmm.
your plan in place, but have your plan B, and just keep trying to figure out new ideas, because when something happens like the craziness we have, you need to, right, let's try keep going. Like, I'm sure there's been so many realtors that have stopped doing business during COVID, because I know the first, as soon as it hit, from, you gotta stick with it to figure it out. Like,
There you go.
there you go. Now I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry. Um, so the last bit just kind of cut out a little bit. But um
No, I was
on
just saying that I agree with you on the your plan.
yeah, it's well, and I can't quite take too much credit because I just read and listen to a lot of YouTube and LinkedIn learning and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll take the credit of letting you know about it. That's all. That's all I can do. On the marketing side and advertising side of luxury homes, what tools do you use, and what do you see as really valuable? The guys I work with do luxury real estate as well. They build the homes, but a lot of it to them is an experience and that touch with the customer and the connection, and maybe drinking wine with them or hanging out with them and things like that.
Yeah, you really gotta, when you're dealing with these type of clients, you really gotta be hands on. You know, attention to details. Attention to detail is a big thing. A lot of these rich guys are rich for a reason. Their attention to detail and how they run their businesses is everything. They want to be hands on. So if you bring them into a luxury home, like you, and especially if they're a designer, if it's new construction, like if it's new construction now, the builder will be there, the designer will be there, and they're very hands on. Just everything, because these people come in and they'll look and they'll see, oh, like just the touch, the finishing touches is a big thing, like, and you can tell the difference between something that finished well and not finished well. I went into a home one time with another person, looked amazing. It looked great. I was like, this is well fit. I thought it looked really good. But then when you went around and actually tapped on the wall and realized it's paper thin, that's like
Oh,
cheap. The finishings were very cheap. That really puts it off. And you really gotta work with them. Yes, bring them out for lunch, dinner. If you have an open house, you have some wine, champagne, or I was working with one luxury agent and the last company I was with, and he does big deals, and we had like sushi boats, sake, and that stuff they love.
yeah, make
You
it
gotta
fun.
really, yeah. A lot of people now, depending on the listing you got, if it's like a big pool house, like perfect for a party setup, have a nighttime party. Have There's one agent had a James Bond theme
Mm,
party. You got to do these, and that will attract all the top eight, the luxury agents and the clients, and they love that. So you got to really put the effort in and do stuff like that. Like some people put luxury cars at the front of the house. So if your buyer has his Ferraris and Lamborghinis, you might have to go drop a little bit of money and put a Ferrari and Lamborghini at the front, show where you can put it, make it look cool. Put a yacht at the back of it, so and then you got to pump money into, like, my thing is so I like social media because everyone looks online now.
hmm
um Gone are the days where you looked in a newspaper, I guess, or stuff like that. Like, I tell all my clients, I'm like, listen, because everybody looks online, they're not going
hmm
to leave it all up to you to do the job. Like, they have so much access now that when I and the thing is, like, a lot like Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, all that, they don't update. Like, if a house goes off the market, they don't update it straight away. So they'll send me, like, oh, like, they'll look at it. If they put their information, a million realtors will call them. So I say, send me the address. I look it up on the MLS, which is the legit one. And because a lot of times they don't see that it's oh, look at this lovely luxury home and this great community, and it's like it's fairly cheap for what you would imagine. But the catch is there's $120,000 membership fee, and they don't tell you
Oh,
that. So yeah, and then, like, so you gotta kind of be onto them, like, call them on the phone, check in with them all the time, because if you don't, they go off by themselves and look online and end up contacting someone else, or they mightn't find out these little details, and if you go and show them the property and then get a big surprise, wait, this is a $120,000 membership fee, like this, blah blah blah. Like, you gotta really be on top of it, and get look into everything, basically. You know, they don't like slackers and someone that doesn't kind of do their homework. No.
yeah. Well, it's a big financial investment, so I think they want to work with someone they at least believe in. Um,
Yeah, and look, if you really like, the luxury real estate side is not for everyone. Like, I know my old company, our number one agent in our company, who does like 100 deals a year, but she doesn't do luxury because she doesn't just want the headache and stress of the luxury. Her her market is between like 400 and $700,000, and that lady absolutely kills it. Like,
hmm,
if you put her in the luxury setup and let her handle the deals, she would blow everyone out of the water. She's amazing, but she doesn't want to deal with that clientele.
hmm.
She does a few $1 million deals here and there, but like, her main focus is just that one little market, and she kills it. Beast. Like, if she called you to list your home, you'd probably list it with her, because she'd probably sold in a sec, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm just selling my house."
Yeah, well,
But
it's
it's
already
not for
sold.
everybody.
Looks like, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do. My goals is that, and I want to just stick with it. I'm a very people person, as you know. I'm very chatty, and I'll chat to everyone and anyone, but I like to use that to my advantage.
hmm
Very hands on. Like, there's some agents you call, and my God, it's like talking to a wall.
Yeah,
And I'm like, how on earth do these people sell homes? You can't be around them for too long.
hmm
It's like watching paint dry. So I like to do my open houses, meet them, be chatty with them. Hey, if the one lad that I met, and he's like, "Hey, let's go for a pint." Called me one day, let's go for a pint. Go out with them. You got to be really hands on because you want them to remember you. And
Hmm.
the referral is the best thing you can get in real estate. That's where your business comes from, referrals as well. Like you get one good client or impressed a lot, and they really like it. They refer you on to the next and next, and you got to treat them all the way you want to be treated, and give them all that good service.
No, I think it fits your personality really well. You've always been like a high or maybe an extrovert, just very communicative, hanging around people. I think not everyone is quite cut out for that. I think like I'm trying to get my real estate license out in Colorado. Like I paid for the classes and everything.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit to study. It's not a short little stint.
Yeah, and every state is different. Like you can do here it's 63 hours. If you go to Cali, it's like takes a year to get your license. Like it's everywhere is different, but yeah, you gotta the homework to do. My thing I sell to all young people like our age and stuff is I think everyone should, all of us young people should have a real estate license. Now, obviously, it's more competition for me, but the reason being is how many times you're going to buy a house in your lifetime? Two, three times, maybe four.
Mhm.
Then you're going to be selling that. Then how many of your close relatives are going to be buying a house? You know, you never know who you're going to run into tomorrow. Could be a multi-millionaire, billionaire. They might not have a realtor. They might use you. Like how many times you rent in your life? How many? Can you even count how many times you've rented apartments since you first left
No,
home?
it's a lot. It's enough.
Yeah. So there you go. So that commission can be in your pocket.
Hmm.
That's a lot of money. When I rent an apartment, if I find the renter, that's 1 month's rent. So right now I have I've one listing for $4,000 and another one for $4,500. I just find a renter. They just send me the info, get the lease signed. That's 4.5 grand in my pocket.
That's a sweet day.
Yeah, another rental I had, but I missed out on it. I never found the renter in time. Was $15,000.
Wow.
That's a commission check on a
Holy
sale
shit.
of a house.
Yeah.
You know, so it's crazy. Like if I think everyone should get the real estate license, regardless if you don't even use it. Like if you have another job you want to do, that's fine. Just have it in your back pocket because
Hmm.
you could save yourself money on your own side. Like I just bought a house here a couple of months ago, the one I'm in right now. I did the deal and got my commission. When I sell it, I'll get commission. You know, that's like a
Might as
down
well.
payment is going to be the equivalent to the commission.
Yeah. And you already know the market since you've been doing it for other people as well. Like
Yeah,
the critical pieces that you need to look for in a home.
yeah. I got a good deal. I bought a one that I had to fix up. Great area, a few blocks from Atlantic Avenue, which are doing some massive construction, and bought it August. And I could sell this house now for 100 grand profit in the morning if I
Wow.
wanted to. On the minimum side, I could get more for it if I wanted to, but you gotta know it too. Yeah, you do. There's certain areas you're not going to get that much profit on it and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But and the investors are having a field day everywhere down here right now. They're in buying stuff up left, right, and center, putting a little bit of work into it, flipping them,
Hmm.
boom, boom, boom. So now that's what I'm going to start doing as well. Because obviously, if you want to do real estate investment, you don't need your license, but it will help if you do have your license because you can keep that extra bit of money.
And it's a
So
good
that's what I'm going to start
little like
doing.
trustworthy piece if you do have any investors you're getting involved with where they can say, okay, he's got some level of like a certification or some base level knowledge that I know he's not just some random guy talking to me about a property.
Yeah, no, true. Now, the funny thing in real estate is when you start real estate, so when you do get your license, the most difficult people to deal with are the investors. Like they're they're in it to make some money. They don't, give a crap about you or anyone else or anything else.
Mhm.
Like they're a headache, and they might have you and a few other realtors working for them, or that's just it's a rugged way it is. Like these boys are a lot of them are old school boys, and they're just like they're tough to deal with. And I learned the hard way. Like one of my first deals, it was actually with a family member, got a listing, a small one, but the buyer turned out to be an investor, and he was a cowboy altogether, and he was trying to screw me, screw them. Like, and I'm new to this, and I was like, and then my family member was like, "What are they going like
Mhm.
onto me?" And it's crazy. You gotta have them deals. Um, you will have them deals that you learn how. Like my very first deal, I'll tell you this story quickly. We there was a problem with the AC, right? And my buyers knew there was something wrong with it, and it was kind of old. So before the day of the walkthrough, which is the day before the closing, we did a walkthrough. The listing agent had to leave at say 15 minutes from 15 minutes time. Okay, my clients were slow to kind of get there because they were waiting on the AC guy. This listing agent's going mad. Come on, where's your clients? I'm trying to call them. They're like, we're on our way, we're on our way. But I can't be like, hurry you know,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, they're on the way. I go down in the elevator to go get them. Didn't realize they were on the way up the elevator. So I
Oh.
get down, let's go to the security guard. Is my client's here? And he's like, yeah, they just went upstairs. I go back up. When I walk in, all I hear, fuck you, I was
What?
like, oh, they were
What just
screaming at each other.
happened?
And then when I walk in, my client's like, you tell that agent, blah, blah, blah. The agent's like, you tell your clients. And I'm like, this is my first deal. I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
I'm like, uh, can everyone relax? And I'm
Yeah.
afraid I don't know what to say to my clients. I don't know what
Yeah.
to say to her because I'm afraid. I'm like, what do I say? So I'm like, oh God. So whatever. We everything gets relaxed, and I'm in the middle because you have to go. Technically, they have to go through me to go to them. Like you don't.
Hmm.
Like, they try to keep it as professional, but yet it wasn't that professional. And it was.
Wow.
It was. We kept it professional, but it was crazy how like they're like, you tell that agent, and I'm like, oh God. And
Yeah.
they're all looking at me like,
I'm gonna say that in a different way, maybe a little more like not as
oh,
confrontational, but
it was kind of funny when you look back, and now it's kind of like, well, I'm kind of glad it happened straight away because now I know if I walk into that stuff, I'm gonna be like, all right, everyone calm down, come out here, I'll talk to you, then I'll talk to you. You learn how to figure it out. But yeah, we close. So the service, the AC, their guy said it's at its end of its life. It could die tomorrow, or it could die in 6 months or a year. Like it's old, so be prepared. So they were like, okay, fair enough. The next day we close. The next day I got a call. The AC is dead.
oh.
They went ape, and they knew it wasn't my fault. Like, it was nothing to me. They're like, we know it's not your fault, but that. And I was just like, this. I was like, oh, so what happened? I'm like, are they going to sue or what? But
Yeah.
it was a good experience. But you have to have that. You will have that.
Yeah, that's you know the benefit of working in an industry or experience is not necessarily the good parts. It's knowing how to handle the like worst parts or having handled it before. So you can walk in there and be like, okay, I'm getting screamed at by a client. I need to de-escalate, separate them, and then and then
Yeah,
deal with it that way. Because I've been
yeah,
here before, and if I leave them all in the kitchen, this will not be good.
exactly. Yeah, if I hadn't came back or like had left or something, yeah, that deal would have fallen through. Like they were ready to not buy this house just because they didn't like the agent. Nothing to do
Mm.
with the seller or the apartment. They loved the apartment, but they were just so mad. Like they were ready to blow that deal. Like, and I eventually calmed them down. Like when we got out, talked to them, talked to her. We got to close the next day, and yeah, it's like you need to learn how to handle these situations. Like I've had deals that like my seller, I've had a few deals that were ready to be pulled because the buyers and sellers didn't like each other, this and that. You just got to learn how to handle it and save the deal. And my thing is like, I don't let anything go till it's completely dead. Like, I've had a few deals that literally I've had my transaction coordinator, my seller, my mortgage lender like, pull this deal, this is not worth it, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, this is going to happen. I'm going to get this done. And I figured out a way to get it done. And you got to do that though. There's other agents I know and I work with that as soon as they see one little hump in the road, they're done, forget about this. Like, let's not do this. I'm like, no, we're in the business of trying to get deals done. My client wants this property, I'm going to get them this property. They want this property sold, I'm going to sell this property for them. And we'll find ways to do it. Yes, people might not always see that the work you did to get them this, a lot of them don't see that at the end of the day, but it's like, you hired me to sell your house or get you a new house. I did that. You have that now. Yes, you might have hated the seller or vice versa, the buyer or whatever, but that's my job and that's what I'm all about. I just want to get the deal done for people, and if there's any way possible I can get it done, that's what I'm trying to do. So, it'll eventually, people will see that as well. You just got to keep working, like, work hard and just get those numbers up and keep people happy and get that referrals.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I feel like a lot of people sometimes cut themselves short when they meet adversity, like what you're talking about. And it's just, there is almost like a niche market in being willing to work with difficult clients, because some people may just, if it's not easy, I'm not doing it. And it's a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
100%. No, look, I worked with a guy who just couldn't really handle anyone like that. Like, when it came down to difficult clients, he'd be like, these guys are crazy, can't work with them, blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, relax, I'll talk to them. Kill them with kindness. Like, we've one seller hates him, loves me. I crack a joke with him. He likes it.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. You don't treat everyone the exact same way, because you get the joker, you get the person you can have a joke with, you get the introvert, you get the like shy person. You gotta learn to deal with everybody and adapt. Like, I'm very big on that. Like, I come from Ireland. I come from a massive family. Everyone's mad. They're all chatty. And I'm an only child. It was just me and my mother then. And it's like, I moved from one place to another place. I moved to America by myself when I was 21. I ended up in Arkansas with you.
Yeah, well, they
I didn't know where I was. I didn't even know Arkansas was a state. Then I
not
ended up
many
in
people do. It's not very popular.
You gotta learn to adapt. If you can't adapt, you won't be able. Like, I lived in New York for a summer bartending, the big jungle. Then I got to Arkansas, middle of nowhere. Then I'm down in South Florida on the beach, and all the people are totally different. Arkansas to Florida to New York, to wherever you go, to Ireland, you got to learn how to adapt. And I'm always up for that challenge, and I'm up for dealing with these tough clients. And if you're not up for it, you're not going to really learn. I don't think you're going to have to stick with whatever you feel comfortable, the easy route, which is probably not going to make you that much money. All these top agents, they deal with everybody. They don't just deal with the one person. So you got to learn and adapt. Like, so now I can talk. I have a billionaire client. I have a millionaire client. I have the $100,000 client. Like, you got to learn to work with them all and figure it out.
So we're getting close on our time, so we'll wrap it up just in a bit here. But if you had any final comments for someone looking to get into the real estate market, or things that you've overcome, or just any real advice or kind of message that you'd want to send to people.
My advice for anyone getting into the real estate market is keep all your connections from whatever your previous jobs were, or if you didn't have a previous job, you just come out of college, you get your license. As soon as you get your license, get your business card, get yourself on social media, Facebook business page or your Instagram business page. Now, have your business and your personal, or if they're one, don't be being stupid and putting up all the parties you're doing on your business page, obviously, but market yourself. If they don't know you're a realtor, they're not going to use you. I have friends that forget I'm a realtor because I'm not onto them every day, all the time. I'm not always posting. Like, social media is the way everything's going. You got to keep posting. I need to do 10 times more than I do. And when I do them posting and do the marketing, people start contacting me. Hey, I'm trying to buy, I'm trying to look. So you got to market yourself. You know, you want people to remember you. They want to remember, who's my realtor? Caleb's the realtor. Who's realtor in Delray? Caleb's the realtor there, you know, or who's going to sell my place? Oh, my buddy. You know, you want people to remember you. So get your name out there. Call every one of your family members, every one of your friends, email, let everybody know you're a realtor. And when you're out, tell them all, just market yourself, you know, in the best possible way. And then people will come to you and do business with you and be nice to people, you know, be very friendly, welcoming, bring them out for a coffee, you know, put your ass out there, you know. We're in this business to make some money. Don't be that person that's just waiting for that one deal a year. You know, if you're trying to make it and become successful, you got to be known. Get your face and your name out there. It's my thing. And work your ass off. We're young. We've no excuses. Like,
Hmm. I
if you're
totally
young,
agree with that.
you
Yeah.
no, we've no excuses at this age. I don't care. I can't stand laziness and lazy people. You know, that's the way it is you're talking about doing this and that and doing this. We'll go and do it. We've no excuses. We're not settled down with, even if you're settled down with a family, you better be doing something, because that's going to be very expensive. So make your money now, have your fun, play hard as well. Like, go have your fun, get out there, do whatever you want to do. But like, I was out last night with my boys. It was his birthday. Probably got home at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was up at 9 o'clock this morning, drove down a half an hour, did an open house. Back here now, million calls coming in here and stuff. Got to do it, and I'll, go meet them later. But like, work, if you're going to work hard, if you're going to play hard, work hard. So we've no excuses. Look, there's so much opportunity and money to be made in real estate. Like, you've no cap. The money you can make is endless. So foot down, head down.
Yeah. Get your
Got it.
hustle on. That's right.
Hustle.
Yeah.
And if you've got, don't listen to certain people. If someone's putting you down, saying, "Oh, you can't do that, you can't sell this, you can't sell that," don't listen to the haters. One thing, and you know about me, I didn't care what anyone said to me. I was
Hmm.
like, I fell out with you a few times, and we clashed heads. But at the end of the day, we understood. We've that mindset. We're like,
Yeah.
go big or go home.
It's good to have that, and I don't
Exactly. You
see
have to
there's
have that.
no harm in that, in my opinion, because both sides are just trying to like show their point or do what they believe, and
Yeah.
I think you're way better off saying what you believe or doing what you believe in than kind of sitting back and never having a confrontational moment, or never pushing the envelope, or never, really just letting yourself be known in that sense.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have that fear, and it holds them back.
And don't hold grudges. It's the
Hmm.
one other thing I'll say. Like, you're gonna fall out with people or have arguments, but kill them with kindness and just move on. Just sort out the problem and then say, okay, right, problem solved. Let's carry on. Let's
Yeah.
go have a drink, or we're going to do more business. Let's go make money. But don't hold grudges. And don't burn your bridges.
Hmm.
You burn your bridges or give yourself a bad name, especially in real estate. No one's going to want to work with you if they get multiple offers. So if I have a listing and you put an offer, Jimmy puts an offer, Michael, and I'm like, I hate Jimmy, I'm not going to want to accept his offer, and I'm going to push
Hmm.
it to the side and show my client your offers. Don't burn your bridges. One thing, and if you do fall out, make up, get over it,
Hmm.
move on. Don't hold grudges.
I think it's rugby has taught us a lot about that, honestly, that like you go through a game and things get intense in a game, and maybe if you get in a scuff with somebody or whatever happens, and then after the game, it's like everything just kind of washes away. It's like,
Exactly. That's the one thing with
yeah,
rugby, and we get like teammates get frustrated. Like you were in the pack with me. Like, if I didn't throw right, people get frustrated with me. If the lifter didn't lift the second row right,
or if I didn't catch it, yeah,
yeah. If you did,
absolutely.
if I threw the ball and you didn't
Yeah,
catch it, it might look bad on me because I was the hooker. But still, it could be down
yeah.
to you or the lifters. Like, and you
Yeah.
figure it out. And yeah, in the game, you kill each other. After there, you go have a pint, and it's just
Yeah.
that's it. It's done. On the field, go hard. Like, the South Africans, the South African mentality. Nicest guys in the world off the field, but on the field, they'll kill you.
They're
They'll take your head
insane.
off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insane. I couldn't, like, that's the way you want that. You gotta have that fight in there. Because if you don't have the
Hmm.
fight, and if you hold the grudges and can't let it go, you're not gonna get far in life, I think.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you there. And I think you said some really powerful things. I mean, it's just burning bridges is not beneficial for anybody.
No,
It is, you cut off your own opportunity, you know.
you don't want to do that. You
Yeah.
burn their bridges, that'll come back to bite you in the ass later down the line, because you might meet that one client and they might like you, and then they might say, oh, hey, this guy, and they're like, oh yeah, don't work with him, he's not good, or this. That's going to bite you in the ass, because if you burnt your bridges with someone else, it can come back to bite you. So I don't like to do that. You gotta make everyone like you.
Hmm.
So
Well,
that's what I
Caleb, no, it's been great having you on, man. I really appreciate you accepting to be on here, in kind of such short notice. But I think what you're
do.
doing in Florida on the luxury real estate is awesome. I think your brand looks really good. I'd wish to kind of build mine up similar to how you post yours. But other than that, man, thanks for being on and have a great day.
No problem. A pleasure. I'm happy to be on it, and give me a shout anytime. I'm more than happy to come on again.
Yeah, I think we should reconnect on that, Caleb. So
100% for sure.
yeah, appreciate it.
2021 is going to be a good year for all of us.
That's right. Hey, up and out, better than 2020. It's only up from here.
True that. True that, brother.
So, all right, man. Well, you have a good day, Caleb.
All right, cool. Thanks.
See you, bud.